Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to configure a yum repository in Red Hat Linux system. So it is irrespective you are using RHEL 5, 6 or 7, the configuration would going to be same. So for now, for this demo, what I have done is I'm just configuring this in RHEL7, and if I just run this command hostnamectl, and I will be able to see the information about my node. And there is one more node, this is RS master, and there is one more node here, you can see RS server. So why I am installing two systems here? Because I'm going to create a local zip repository in this system RS master, and from this system RS server I'm going to configure the repository remotely with FTPD, with FTP daemon. Okay, so there are many ways we can do it. So there are three ways basically. The first is the local, which we call as file-based or local repository, and second one is through FTP. You can use yum, and also you can use HTTP. So those three we basically use. You can also use NFS. Okay, so for now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you both file based, which is local, and the next one is FTP. So for sharing through FTP, what I have to do is I have to install the FTP package. So if I do a rpm-qa and vs-ftpd, and you would be able to see there is a package which is already installed. Okay, so you need to ensure this package is installed to share with FTP. And for configuring locally, what you need is you need your ISO image. So if I just minimize, and you can see this is the ISO DVD which I have mounted, and in VMware you can just click like this here, and you can right click here, and you can just do settings, and in settings you can able to mount your ISO. So I have mounted that, so that that's why it is showing here. So what I have done is I just copied the whole content for my DVD. If I just go under this location, and you can see this location, there are many files, packages, reported and release not and other information. So basically all your packages is reside under this location, packages. So if I do just an ls under this file folder, you'll be able to see all the files here. And if I just do WCL for the count how many packages, it is saying 4621 packages are available. So what you have to do is you just have to copy the whole content to your local location. So anywhere, for example, you wanted to copy under something called OS ISO, under this location you wanted to copy. So you can just copy the whole content here. Since I'm going to share this repository to other system, to remote system, this one, so I'm going to use FTP. So what I have done is I just copied all the content under var FTP pub. So when you install a vs-ftpd package, this directory will default going to create. This is for public use. Pub means public. So you just have to go inside this and copy the whole content. So you can see the same content which I have it here, I copied it here. So now I can be able to configure my repository locally, right? So let me just do it. So before configuring the repository, I will also try to show you why yum repository is important. So for example, inside pub packages directory all the packages are available, right? And now I need to install httpd, and my yum is not configured. So let me just run this command httpd, and there is a package called this one, and let me just install it, and let's see. And you can see there is an output saying the failed dependency, and there are some dependency packages which required by these packages, and it is failing. So that is why to overcome this we configure yum repository. So what yum will do, which is stand for yellow page, yellow dog, not paste, yellow dog update manager. So this is what it stands for. So yum will ensure that the packages httpd, whenever we will try to install, or other packages will try to install, it will calculate all the dependency, and it will automatically going to check, and it will automatically going to fetch those information regarding the dependency, and it will going to install. Okay, so that is not the benefit. There are many benefits which we can discuss later. So now for example, I have tried to install these packages and it is giving an error, and if I use yum, what it will going to do, it will automatically install the packages. But in my case, I have not configured my yum, that is why it is saying it is not there, right? So we would try the same thing once I have configured my yum, and let's see how it goes. And when we do a yum install httpd packages or any packages, where it will going to look for, so it will basically going to look for your directory inside the repository location and the repo data directory. Okay, so if I just go inside this directory and ls it, you will be able to see some XML file, which is actually a metadata which hold the information about your directory structure and file structure and your packages structure, where all those packages are located. All this information are captured in this XML file. So when we do a yum install and then followed by the package name, basically it looks for this XML file and it finds the information where these files are located for httpd. So if I do it, so it will look for here, and it will go to, it has the information that the packages are available under packages directory and what are the dependency it requires, it will check. So this is how it is going to install it, right? So that is why the repo data directory is important. So now what I need to do is I need to create, or I need to configure the repository. The first thing is, there is one file which is under /etc, and if I just do a yum.conf, this is a default file which is created in your system. And if you read this, here it says put your repository here in separate file names file.repo in under this location. You can also specify your repository under this location, but many situations we use a multiple repository, and in that case we would prefer to use a separate location which is under /etc yum.repos.d. So I will recommend you to use that location instead of /etc yum.conf. So just go to this location, and here there is one default file created and it has nothing. If I just get it for this file, you can see everything in hashed and nothing in that file mentioned. So what I have to do, I have to create a file with the extension of repo as mentioned in /etc yum.conf file. So let me create a file called something like this, os.repo, and here we have to specify those entries. So first entry would be under square bracket, and you have to specify any name. So I'm just going to specify like RHL7, and ensure you should not be have any space, repo something like that or something. So there should not be any space in between here. Okay, so otherwise it will going to cause issue. And next thing is your name of your repository. So that name can be anything. So for now what I'm going to do is I'm just saying Redhat Enterprise Linux, that's it. And third entry is very important, which is base URL. So base URL is nothing but the file which is for local, which I'm going to use in the system, and FTP you can use if you are remotely using your repository, and also HTTPD if you are using for your remote repository. For file, for local, I'm going to use file, and ensure that you have 3 backslash and specify the content. So basically it is under pub, so not an issue. We can specify the pub directory here just like that, and we can specify GPG check. So GPG check is nothing but the RPM which is going to install through yum, whether it is authorized or not, right? So since I have downloaded from this Redhat and the ISO is from Redhat, all the packages are authorized, so we don't need to add any GPG key to ensure. So if you are using CentOS or probably other which is not authorized or not enterprise version of uh, operating system, probably you need to import it and enable the GPG check. But for Redhat it is not required. And the third thing is enable. The next thing is enable equal to 0, which is for disable, whether you are going to enable this repository in case you are running many repository and out of them you wanted to disable this repository, this particular repository. So you can make it say 0 here and it will disable. To enable it, I am just saying as 1. So that's it. This is the information you just have to update here, right? So now the FTP is whether it is running or not, that requires for the remote, but for this one we don't need the service to be running. Just to ensure, let me just try systemctl start vs ftpd. It is running, and let me just stop it just to not confuse you, because for local FTP should not it is not required. So now if I do yum repo list, I would be able to see my repository information, and you can able to see the same content of your RPM file, which is 4620. My repo name is RHL7, this one, repo ID is RHL7. So that means your local repository is ready, so you'd be able to install any packages. So let me just try to install package called httpd, and now you can see the difference. When I tried rpm-ivs and try to install httpd packages, it gives me an error saying the dependency failed, and here I'm able to see that the dependency is able to find by the yum, and from where it is going to install. It is saying that this is the repository from where it is going to install, and this is the for dependency going to install, and this is the package. So let me just install it. There are some issue about downloading packages. No more mirror to try. Okay, let me just try to install FTP package. Okay, it is giving the same thing, maybe because of the cache. So let me just clean that cache. And now if I, what happened, okay, so looks like there is some entry I need to ensure under my file here. So instead of pub, I'll just give the full path. Let's just not do things complicated, and instead of, I'll just give a full path called var ftp, and now hopefully I would be able to see all the information. Yum clean all to clear the cache, and just to do a fetch, it is working. And now just try to install packages. It is trying to fetch the information, and it is installing. So that was the problem in my content. Okay, so here the content which I have given var ftp pub, so I have to give the full path here instead of simply pub. So that means my local repository which I have created, it is working. So now the turn is to check from the client end or from the remote end whether it works or not. Let me just log into my remote system here, and let's try to do that. And if I just do a yum repo list, you can able to see 0, nothing is there, and the repository is not configured. And if I go to yum.repos.d, and I don't have any file, so let me just say something called master.repo and specify the information here. So Redhat, just the name I have given. Repo, and next line is base URL equal to. So here instead of file, what I'm going to do is FTP, because I'm going to use the remote server. And one more thing I just forgot, because to use that I have to start the FTP service so that it will able to reach. You probably remember that I stopped the service, so currently it is inactive state, and now I just need to start it, and it has started, it's running. And let me just ensure IP tables is not blocking anything, and my IP is 128, everything is fine. And let me go to remote system here, and let me just specify the location information. It is 192.168 and 169.128 is the IP where I have specified the location. And here just in pub, because it is from local, it is from remote location where we are trying to install. And let's just try whether it works or not. Probably we can we would change it if we face any issues, not an issue. So let's go with this option now. And now the next part is GPG check equal to 0, and I wanted to enable this repository. That's it. And let me just do IAM repo list again and see whether I'm able to fetch the information. And now I can able to fetch the information, and it is saying that your repository having around 4620 packages, which is actually coming from your client node, which is this one, right? So you can use that, and we can also check FTP. Let me just try. FTP is not installed, so let me just do this first thing to check installing FTP package. So it's just a test that my YAM repository is working, so I can able to install it. And now FTP command should work, and 192.168.169 and IP is 128, and it is able to communicate. I'll just go with anonymous users, enter. So I can see the pub directory. So that is why I have just specified pub in the repository directory, because when I log into this system, it will not show the var FTP, it will just show the pub directory which is shared, and inside this pub I have all this file, right? So this is how we have to create your YAM repository. It is pretty much simple and easy. I have prepared this video for basically for those who are new to Linux and trying to gain knowledge in Linux, and for them, for the beginner. So there is not much, that is very easy, and you can check, you can try all the YAM related command. Like one useful command is YAM history. You can able to check how many packages you install and when you have installed them. Those history you can able to check. And regarding YAM clean, let me just tell you what is YAM clean. So YAM clean is nothing but your cache for your packages, your metadata, and your RPM DB. So example, when I install VSFTPD here, 5 packages HTTP is installed, and now I do a YAM update or something, right? In this case it will not going to work, because its system is already up to date. So YAM update, and it will going to install the latest packages, and there the HTTP packages is also going to install, or it will going to update. So in that case, what will happen, your old package information and cache information all will be available in cache location, Okay, so what is the cache location? Probably I would able to var log, I believe it is under yum, not this one. Let me just do a man yum, and I'll go to, there are many options which you can use. So this is the cache location var cache yum. So under that your cache would be available, and there are some more like let me show you something like what it will going to do when we do yum clean all. So this is what it will going to do. So you can see in yum clean those are the options: yum expire cache, your packages in header, metadata, db cache, and rpm db. And if you do yum clean all, does all of the above, so everything will clean up. So that is why sometimes it is very useful, if you are facing some issues, you ensure that you clean your cache. Okay, like that there are many options. If you would like to check what are the other options available in yum, you just probably need to do a yum main yum, and you'll be able to see all the options, and you can use as per your requirement. So my video was basically for the configuration of repository locally and remotely. So that is what I have done it. So it is working. This is for local, and the other system which I have configured here, that is working through FTP. So that's it guys for this video. Feel free to comment if you have any doubts. Let me know. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.